I can't say I was surprised. I had the feeling all along that at the end, this thing might break one way or the other, and all the so-called swing states would vote together, because the last 2 or 3, 4% were actually pretty much alike. At least this time, there is no question that he actually won both the popular vote and the Electoral College. And when he won before, he lost the popular vote and only won the Electoral College because of the late intervention of James Comey, and I think the false presentation of the email issue. There's been a lot of change for people to digest. A lot of economic adversity and upheaval, a lot of political upheaval, a lot of social developments. And if you think about it, some of the votes that happened in the last election are people who are just exhausted by uncertainty and tired of carrying it around. And that always helps the right.
I love Bernie Sanders. And when she did some skullduggery that was basically excavated and revealed by the intelligence agencies, the disaffected millennials went and joined the boomers behind whom? Donald Trump. So there was no amount of vote rigging that could have saved her. When it looked like the elite could vote rig Hillary Clinton into office, manipulate her into office, even after she was caught on the tarmac making a deal with the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, not the prosecutor, even after she was caught paying off the wife of an FBI agent who was running for office, the elite thought they still had a shot of getting Hillary Clinton in. And then, just like a script, at the last moment, the military-industrial complex, the intelligence agencies ran their October surprise that they had threatened for 6 months. Acting through WikiLeaks, they dumped a whole laptop of 650,000 emails on top of Hillary Clinton's head. It was the other shoe. In fact, it was 650,000 other shoes, as you saw in the caption. The people abandoned her, and then the military-industrial complex threw her under the bus. And when the elite tried to rescue her and she wouldn't die, they dropped a whole house on the Wicked Witch. Now, you can crawl from under a bus, but I've never seen anybody crawl from under a house being dropped on them. So now Donald J. Trump is wearing the ruby slippers and is on his way to Oz, the kingdom to rule. This is just like a good old-fashioned novel as a thriller. The only thing is, I already read the last chapter. I already knew the plot. Just a matter of when the plot elements were going to drop. And they were perfectly timed. They timed so perfectly that there was no wiggle room for her to get out. The elite couldn't come in at the last second and rescue her. It's a done deal. In fact, after the election, she's blaming Barack Obama for not doing more to rescue her. But that is Hillary Clinton's hubris, Hillary Clinton's hypergamy to the maximum. And it's a sad tale of a woman that wanted too much and overreached. Her emotion and her drive overruled her logic. And she will probably have to pay for this attempt for the rest of her life, because there's no way you can outrun 650,000 emails, and there's no way you can crawl from underneath that house.
Yeah, I'm starting leading off with that Deion Sanders quote, "Do you believe now?" Anyway, the clips that you heard, one was from Bill Clinton, basically saying how he believed that Hillary lost in 2016 and what was going on with the Democratic Party and the count, and why he believes, or he thinks he knows why Trump actually won. Now, this is an insider. So evidently, Bill wasn't completely on board with the Hillary Clinton neocon wing that tried to shoehorn Kamala Harris into the president's office, into the Oval Office. But I was laughing is because when AB actually introduced me to this clip, is because I had said pretty much the same thing 8 years earlier. And a lot of people poo-pooed it, that I didn't believe that the DOD or the Defense Department, the Pentagon, would allow Hillary Clinton to be elected, a commander-in-chief, especially after the Libya thing in Benghazi. For those in the know, just look it up. You can type in Hillary Clinton in Benghazi, it'll come up. But The thing is that I was kind of ridiculed and pushed off as a conspiracy theorist and all this kind of stuff. These years, you don't know what you're talking about, old man. You're making up things. That's not the reason. It was voter fraud, and yada yada yada, and Trump was just better, and yada yada yada. And there's time for a change and all this kind of stuff, right? Which is two things happened to Hillary Clinton. One, the Democrats lost a whole group of young people because those were Bernie bros, and Bernie Sanders didn't get a shake is because Hillary Clinton actually manipulated the DNC. And secondarily, she did a lot of hanky-panky as far as what was going on under the Obama administration, a few other things. But the thing is that I knew that she wasn't going to get elected. Now, Bill is still bitter about what happened and what Comey did and a few other things with the list and the emails. And he was just the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the spear. He wasn't the main guy. But it was a whole milieu of the military that refused to let her be seated. And they sabotaged her presidency, her president's campaign. She didn't get it. And afterwards, they were threatened her with, in my opinion, they threatened her with trying to run again. And she had to quietly back out, which I think Bill and Hillary still kind of butthurt about. But it is what it is. But, all the guys are saying that I'm not accurate or I don't know what I'm talking about, or even though it was my best guess, because I had no direct proof. There wasn't anybody whispering in my ear saying that this is the reason. But the thing is, once you have followed these people for so long, you know how they work, and you can pretty much tell when they do something this overt. And they did something pretty overt. So, since nobody's going to give me a flower, I'll give myself one. I'm going to pop my own collar. Hashtag BGS was right. And I love it when I'm proven right, not by what I say, but what happens on the ground. And now it's coming out of their own mouths. It's coming out of Bill Clinton's mouth. Of all people, I never thought I would in life hear Bill Clinton actually tell the freaking truth like that, because Bill's not one for telling the truth. But I guess at this point he's getting old, and I guess their political career may be over. I think it might be time for them to retire and kind of move on. I don't know where they live. Is it in Texas, in Maine, Mexico? Not sure where they live now. But it's time for them to retire and move on, because I think after this particular political campaign, especially with Kamala Harris, I think they're fairly done. I think they are. You never know. But anyway, man, I just want to pop my own collar and take a toast and gotta share this because it was funny as hell, man. I fell out of my chair when I heard him say this. I said, you got to be kidding me. You actually admitted it. It's a doggone shame. Kamala Harris got all these people drinking some of this truth juice, this truth serum, man. All of a sudden they confessing like a mug. Okay. Oh, gosh. Anyhow, y'all, I just want to drop this real quick, man, and put this up. And I'll holler at y'all later.